Good morning, Amira.
Good morning.
We are starting our fourth session today. The initial plan was for us to do silent reading to begin, but one of the books that I brought today, The Poison Cup, Amira showed special interest in, and she was concerned about reading it by herself because she wasn't familiar, so we decided as a team that we were going to sit and read it together. And so then I wanted to just give a quick run through of our plan today. So we're gonna read this together a little bit, see how we feel about it. Then after we're done, we can reflect, talk about what we thought, and try to remember what we learned about the characters so far, and see if there's anything in the book that reminds you of your life and your experiences. Or if it reminds you of anything else that you've read before. Then after that, we're going to do a little bit of word work with our word cards that we did yesterday. And I would really like for us to practice spelling them, and then we can work together to write a short story today. I thought that would be fun to write a story together. What do you think? If we did it as a team. Yeah, we could share some ideas. And then at the end, we can read a little bit out of the poem book that I brought for you, and we can talk about what you thought about our session today. So let's get started. All right, so it says The Prince's Poison Cup.
So the prince is gonna give the princess, I think, a poison cup, and then she's gonna get poisoned.
I mean,
because the prince's poison cup. Because the first page, it kind of sounded like a girl was talking.
When you were taking a look at it?
Yeah. Shall I? Because that's usually in my mind, it sounds like a girl.
Well, what do you see on the page here? What are those called? Starts with a Q.
Quotation marks.
Yes, those are quotation marks. So this is an excerpt from the Bible, actually. The author chose to put something from the Bible in here. It says, "Shall I not drink the cup that the Father has given me?" I'm not sure how that relates to our story today, but we will have to see. So right away we can see that this story must be about a girl, but then it says the prince's poison cup, so I don't...
Wait, what if the prince gives what if the father doesn't like his daughter, so then he said it to the world, but not her. And and the prince got it, and he said, "Give this to her, this poison cup."
I don't know.
And then he gives it to the little girl, and she gets poisoned because she drinks it. She doesn't like it. She's like, and then she's like,
I don't know. I guess we'll have to read to see if your prediction is correct. Who would you like to start? Would you like to start, or would you want me to start?
Well, you go start. Wait, hold on. This isn't on. You start. I start. You start. I start. You start.
Okay, and then we'll just take turns.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of like we talked about yesterday, as we're reading, whenever you notice a period, we're gonna just stop and we're gonna take a pause. That way, when we say the whole phrase, we can hear the words clearly and how they're supposed to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, one morning, not so long ago, in a snug house in a small town, a little girl was feeling sick. Her name was Ella Ruth, but her family simply called her Ella.
Ella had a bad tummy ache, so the doctor had given her some medicine. Ella's father poured some of the medicine into a spoon. But as soon as Ella saw the medicine, she frowned and said, "Oh, Daddy, this medicine looks yucky. Do I really have to take it?"
Her father smiled and said, "Yes, dear, you have to take your medicine if you want to get well."
So Ella worked up her courage and finished the medicine as her father told her. But then she asked, "Daddy, why does this medicine taste so bad if it's going to make us well?"
"Well," her father said, "that's a question that you should ask Grandpa. He always can he always can answer your hard questions. He's coming to visit this afternoon. Get some rest so you'll be feeling better when he gets here."
Ella took a nap and woke up when Grandpa arrived. He hugged Ella and asked her how she was feeling. And Ella told him she was feeling better. Then she looked up at him and said, "Grandpa, may I ask you a question?"
Grandpa nodded and replied, "Of course, my dear." "Grandpa, why is my medicine so yucky if it's going to make me well?" Grandpa looked thoughtful. "That's a very good question, Ella," he said. "Some things that look or taste or smell wonderful are really awful, but sometimes things that seem terrible are actually very good. I even remember a story in which both of these strange things were true. Would you like to hear it?"
"Oh yes," Ella said. She loved the stories Grandpa told to explain things. So Grandpa sat down and Ella snuggled up close beside him. Grandpa began by saying,
"Oh, I see once upon a time here. So maybe the story started off about this little girl named Ella, but it seems like there's a story within a story here. So I don't know how that's going to go."
I know.
"Once upon a time, there was a great king. He was called the King of Life because he had the power to make anything, even living things like plants, animals, and people. The king made a beautiful park filled with trees, streams, lakes, and meadows. Each day, the king came to the park and visited with his subjects, the people that he had made. They were very happy as they walked together in the beauty of the park.
In the center of the park, the king placed a fountain. Up from the fountain bubbled beautifully. In the center of the park, the king placed a fountain. Up from the fountain bubbled beautiful water that looked cool and sweet. But the king told his people, "You may drink from the stream in the park, but you may not drink from the fountain. And the water in the fountain will harm you. Do not drink it."
At first, the king's subjects enjoyed spending time with him so much that they didn't even go close to the fountain. They loved the king and they wanted to please him, but they began to get curious. They wondered why he didn't want them to drink the water of the fountain, which looked so pure and refreshing.
One day, a stranger in a long black cloak appeared in the park. the people didn't know it. But the stranger was the king. Archonymically.
That's a tricky word. So it's a compound word. So we have arch
enemy.
Archenemy.
Archenemy. King's archenemy.
Archenemy.
Archenemy. He told the people that the water in the fountain was bad, and all he said that if they would try it, the water would do wonderful things to them. It would make them as great as the king himself.
By now, the people were very curious about the water. It didn't seem fair that the king wouldn't let them drink from the fountain, so they decided to try it. The stranger filled a cup with the water from the fountain and gave it to the people, and they drank it.
It's poison.
You think it's poison?
Yeah, because he said something bad would happen. And look, at the cover it says the prince's poison cup. And look what she's holding. She's holding a cup. And then she got the water, and I think it's going to be poison because the water's in the cup, in the poison cup. That was a twist.
It startled me a little bit. I think it's a good prediction. We won't know until we turn the page. I'm wondering, because the author might be trying to lead us in a different way. The author might be trying to make us think that one thing is going to happen when another thing might happen.
So how about I think what I think, and then you think what you think. And if I'm wrong, then we can be together. But if you're wrong, then we can also be together. So we're not wrong.
That's right. I mean, it's just a prediction, so it's just about what we think. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
Is it your turn, or is it my turn?
What happened? Yeah, because you read the last one.
Oh, I did. Okay.
What is going to happen? I see it now. But the terrible thing happened when the people drank the water. Their hearts turned to stone. After that, they no longer felt any love for their king. They didn't even want to be with him anymore. They stopped coming to the park to spend time with him. Instead, they moved to a desert far away from the park and built themselves a city. They called it the City of Man. What? Is that Jesus?
I think that this story...
That kind of looks like Jesus.
I think that this story is supposed to be...
That kind of looks more
I think
like
it sounds like this story is echoing the story of Genesis.
What's that?
I think that this might be God in this story. I think that's what the author was inspired by, which I didn't know before we started to
that
read.
Looks like God, and he has the cloak, and look at his hands. Look, that looks like God's hands. And his cloak looks like God's cloak that he wears.
It does, and we can see that he's glowing.
Yeah, because his head is glowing, because I think he is the man that made the water, that drank the water, and then his heart turned to stone, and then he revived him, and then the bad person got turned to stone because he made the person drink it.
I don't know. Do you go to church?
Sometimes, yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So, does this story remind you of anything that you learned while you were at church?
I don't go that often. I used to go every Sunday, but like a few years, like like a year ago, 2 years ago, we stopped going because we never had time. So I kind of don't.
You never had time, so you stopped going to church?
No,
That's
we
okay.
didn't stop.
Every family is different. And
Look, what can we?
all that's important is what you believe in your heart.
There's 30.
So I'm looking at the clock, and usually we do silent reading for 10 minutes, but we decided to do partner reading for 10 minutes today instead. So would you like to put a bookmark in it and we can read it some more tomorrow? Or I could leave it here with you and you can read it over the weekend. Or I guess the weekend's over because today's Sunday. Would you like me to just leave it here with you?
No, let's put a bookmark in it.
Put a bookmark in it? Okay. Grandma said that we could use these post-it notes for a bookmark.
Yeah.
Or one of these. So we'll park it right here. And we'll take a second to reflect. So is there anything else anything in the story that made you have any kind of feelings? Or something in the book that reminded you of something else that you've read before?
The feelings. I had a feeling when I said that. When I said that when you said that was Jesus, that it was God, because it looked like God.
Well, I'm just saying that it seems like
I had
with
a
the
good feeling about your
information,
answer.
you had a good feeling about my answer.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like with the evidence from the book, because at the front, remember, it had a quote from the Bible, and
Wait. Shall I not drink the cup? What does shall I mean?
shall is just another way to say will.
Will I
So-
drink the cup the Father has...
What?
Wait, yes, you're right. Probably it's God, because God made everything. And because when it said that, God makes everything, and the king makes everything. And when his head was glowing, and the cloak looks like that, because look, he looks like Jesus. He looks like God. Because look at his long hair. He has a beard just like God does. And it said, shall I drink this? Wait. It says, shall I drink the cup that the Father... Like, Father is God. Because God is our Father. Father has given me.
Yes, that is certainly some, a lot of people believe that. So maybe the author believed that too.
Look.
And
He
so,
gives me this, he 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 gives me this, everything!
so once we finish the book, I think I'd like to ask you to think about why you think the author wrote this story.
It's because I think he was telling us that you should always listen to what other people say. No, that's not my prediction. Yeah, let's wait until the end.
I think that would be a good idea. All right, I did like the illustrations in that book, though.
Wait, are we still gonna have time to do a full hour?
We're doing 45 minutes today, so we still have about...
We have 30? Wait, no, we don't have 30. We have... Okay, let me do math. We have 20?
20 more minutes to go?
No.
That sounds right.
About... Wait, hold on. We have 25 more minutes.
Okay, so today, what I would like you to do next is, I'll let you choose, because I think that it's more fun if you get to decide. Do you want to read a poem first, or do you want to do spelling and write a story first? What would you prefer?
A story!
You want to write a story? Okay, so how about I'm going to mix up the words again, and we're going to fold them up.
Oh, with those. Yeah,
I think that we could definitely come up with a story with these words. We don't have to use them all, but maybe we could try to use like 6 of the words. Do you think that is fair?
In like one sentence?
Not 6 words in one sentence, but do you remember?
Do I have to do what? Do I? If I put. Excuse me, that's so bad. Like so, bacon. Wait. If I put 6 words in one sentence, do I still have to do 6 sentences?
Well, I didn't say we had to write necessarily 6 sentences. I think what we should do is start by sorting the words back out, like we did yesterday. So can you unfold the words?
Can we pick them?
And put them into the pile based on the pattern that makes the long I sound.
Smile. First, I smile.
You don't have to make up a sentence for everyone. I want us to have enough time to work together on our story.
At night, I sleep. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make up a sentence for everyone.
That's perfectly fine.
Maybe. Right. I'm always on your right. I'm always on your left. But now switch. And now I'm on your right. Oh, okay. Sight. My eyesight is good, but now when I have this piece of paper that says sight on it, I don't have, well, I have good sight now, but I don't have good sight no more. What is that? Is that a sun?
No, it's a thought web.
Okay, light. When I have this over my eyes, I see darkness, but when I take it off, I see light. Pile. I have a pile of dirty underwear up in my room. That's not true. Fight. I'll fight Miss Janet tonight.
That's not a kind thing. Remember yesterday, Grandma said you fight for your right to do something, or you fight for what is right, even if others are doing something that's wrong. I think that's a nicer way to use the word, because I would never fight you. That wouldn't be kind.
But I could fight you.
Let's switch the topic. What's that word?
This one is might. I might fight you tonight.
No. I really don't like that.
Bride. I am the most wonderful bride at night.
Oh, excuse me.
That was warm when you on my hand.
When I exhale.
Yes. That was hilarious. Wide. The big fat cow was very wide. Bite. I might bite you in my sleep. Because I might chew on you at night. Like if I'm having a dream and I'm eating some steak. Kite. I'm flying my kite in the air.
All right, so we were able to sort out the words. And so now my question for you is, what do you notice that is the same about this list of words compared to that? All of these words have something in common.
Well, you could have put 8 in there.
I could have put 8. That's true. Because how do you spell 8?
EIGHT.
That's true.
Might 8, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't include 8 because it has a long A sound. Even though it's EI, it's an A.
EI.
So,
my.
But what I'm thinking is, you told me yesterday that the IGH makes the long I sound in these words, and every single one of these words ends with a T. Then there's these ones where the silent E is at the end to create the long I sound. But what's the consonant in between? Is it a T?
An L.
Yes, it's an L.
I should have just did that.
In smile, pile, and then in these ones, bride, wide. Again, we have that silent E. But then at the bottom, these two don't necessarily follow that rule. Even though we have the magic E at the end, turning that into a long I sound. Just like bite and might, they rhyme, but this one has the I blank E pattern. So, I would like you to, we're going to flip your paper over on the back, and I'd like you to write the words that use the IGH pattern. And so would you like to copy them, or would you like to be challenged and do it like a spelling test? Spelling test?
Yes.
Okay. I believe in you.
Spelling.
Do you want me to try to trick you with some of those other words inside? Do you want me to try to trick you? Yes? Okay. All right, so I'm putting a couple of tricks in here. And I'm going to mix them all up. All right, ready? Okay. Sight. Oh, you dropped your pencil.
Wide, smile, pile, while, Kyle.
Are you ready?
Let me think. Yes.
Sight. Stay out of my sight. All right, let's see. Did you get it right?
Sight!
You got it. Okay, ready? Right.
I write. I'm always on your left.
Yeah, you're on my right.
Hey. Switch.
So what spelling pattern is that? And let's check.
Yay!
You're right. Oh, you're right about right.
You're right about right.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Wide.
I'm wide.
How would we spell that? Which pattern?
Let me just try.
Are you okay?
There's something. You know how it feels like there's like a big chunk of something in your eye?
Yeah.
But there's actually nothing in your eye.
Why don't you just close your eye for a second and just kind of move your eyeball around under your closed eye. Sometimes that can help you to clear it up. Does that feel better? Okay. Wide.
I'm big and...
Which spelling pattern does that match?
It matches with the first pattern. Wait, hold on. How does it go like this?
Let's see.
Dang it, I'm right!
Okay, ready? Bite.
About to catch it, I'm gonna bite you.
I take a bite of bacon.
Yeah, I take a bite of my burger. It's the right pattern. We were gonna do take a bite. Let's see.
Are you ready?
Right.
So you had me worried for a second because you said it was going to be like the sight and right pattern, but then you put BITE, and that was correct.
Yeah.
So why did you say that?
Because I'm gonna trick you.
You're tricking me? Or
Yeah.
did you forget for a minute?
I'm tricking you.
Okay. Bride.
I'm such a bride.
One day you'll be a beautiful bride.
But what if I don't get married?
That's up to you.
I'm gonna get you a bride. A bride. I'm going to bite you. I like that word, bite.
Look carefully.
Bride.
Listen for every sound before you write. I think you're being a little silly, and so it's distracting you.
Bride. I had that in my mind. When you said bride, I was
All
like...
right, ready? Kite.
Oh, I'm so wrong.
It's a good day to fly a kite.
It's the...
What do you say?
Oh, this
Thank
is...
Kite.
Come on,
And the last one that we're going to do, light.
light.
Turn on the light. Oh, whoops.
Who turned off
There you
the
go.
lights?
There's the kite. You got it right.
Wait, who turned off the lights? Who turned off the lights? Oh. There's the
Zach,
lights.
we're trying to record. Can you please turn off the YouTube video, honey? Because that's going to show up on my recording. Sorry. I appreciate your choice to turn off the video. Thank you.
Wait, what was it?
Light. Turn on the light, please.
Who turned off the lights? Oh, it's just on my hand. Oh. Oh my gosh, that...
And boom. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 correct words. And since you did so well, I thought we didn't need to do the other 3.
Bite,
I tried to trick you, but I couldn't. So maybe I'll have to give you some harder words tomorrow or on Tuesday when I come back.
Someone fart. Mrs.
All right, you ready?
Tutoring.
Zach.
All right, Amira. You must feel pretty proud that you got all of those words right. Because when we did the spelling test a couple of, or last week, you missed, you know what? Let me see if you can do the one that you missed. It was bright. How do you think you spell bright? That was the one that we missed on the spelling test last week when we were, when I first came. It wasn't the only one, but that was one that I noticed. And that was how we picked all these ones. What do you think? How do we spell bright? The light is bright.
B-R...
What do you think? Okay, do you want my pencil?
No, it's just that. I kind of forget. Wait.
Yeah, take a look at the other words.
Sight, right? Right? Is that right?
I don't know, you only wrote BR.